I don't know about you.
Yes, mate.
I mean, good to see him bowl. He's had his injury problems, but he can bowl a heavy ball. If he wants to really bend his back, he can get it upwards of 140 clicks.
Yeah, superb cricketer. Absolutely box office. I think that's the one about him, you're right. He's one of them, he just ambles in, doesn't he? But he's got such a strong shoulder. And he gets that follow through, he follows right through, and he can bowl it quick on his day, and he gets that rhythm right and the timing. He can really, really shock the batter.
Yes, and already seeing these two balls, that rhythm looks good.
Yeah.
And you're right, rhythm is such a key for a bowler. There's some days he used to rock up and just it was just so natural. It felt lovely, and you knew in warm-up whether you were what speed you were going to bowl that day. And other days it was a battle. You're struggling to get to the crease, and you just want right. But when it clicks, oh, it's a great feeling.
And it's a great sight for the crowds, for the people watching around the globe, for the commentators. Nothing like a fast bowler in full flight. It lights up everything. Lovely, lovely scenes, these beautiful evening sunshine, the JP Morgan stand full.
It might be good for the crowd to watch a fast bowler, but when you're down the other end facing it, it's not so good. All right, for you could bat. For us tail enders, coming in at, well, in that England team, I were 8. That's how bad they were. I got Malcolm and Tufnell behind me. Somebody else. Who else did I have? Fraser.
You got your captain there, listening to you, NASA. That's for another top edge.
Oh, we've seen a couple of those today, top edges. Makes you think there's a bit more bounce in the pitch, or it's a bit quicker.
Wolf 777 News, हर जगह ग्राउंड है.
How's the win? Aye, sir. Bring your skills, answer the questions, win big.
This game involves an element of financial risk and may be addictive. Please play responsibly and at your own risk.
Let's not expect.
7 for 1 from 20. So just looking to rebuild now after losing Rossington early.
Yeah, they'll be happy with the start here. The Manchester Originals, the London Spirit, have struggled to get going. They bowled really well. Bowled that back of a length, skidded the ball on to the batter, and they struggled to adapt to the pace. A little bit of pace and bounce in the pitch.
It's not quite middled it, but will still reach the boundary.
Yeah, I miss it these days from Maxwell. A good chance of going to a boundary. Went to it to the mid-wicket. Used the pace just short of a length. Bit of a skyer. But it just had enough to creep over the boundary for 4 runs. 32 for 1 of 22 balls.
Oh, what a shot that is. That's into the crowd. Just a little flick of the wrist and away she goes.
What a shot. And this is what we're talking about when you heard about 360-degree players. Just watch this shot again. Absolutely magnificent. Just a flick of the wrist. And away it goes. He didn't have to run. He knew it was going to go all the way.
These are shots when you're growing up and you're playing French cricket. You try and play these shots. No movement of the feet, just hand-eye coordination. Well, such a game changer he can be. It's just one of those players. He'll give himself 3-4 balls max as a sighter, and then off he goes. It doesn't matter who the bowler is, what the situation of the game is. My name is Glenn Maxwell, and I want to announce myself on this game.
And as a bowler, it puts you on the back foot, doesn't it? The first thing you're thinking when you're bowling, I've got to get this guy early. I've got to get this guy early. Because you know if he gets in.
So they've got some momentum going now. This partnership 31, 25 gone, it's 40 for 1.
What a shot that was from Glenn Maxwell. Just a flick of the wrist. Didn't register that highly on the power meter because it was a bit more skill and touch. But it still went a long way. That's the signal for the end of the power play. 25 balls where you need fielders in. All but 2 of them. So a bit of leg spin. And he's going to be bowling with that shorter boundary on the leg side. And these right-handers are going to be eyeing up the slog sweep and taking on that leg side. I wonder if Parkinson will hide it wide outside off. We shall see. That's what they're going to be going for, the grandstand. It's a bigger hit. Going to the offside. He's going to go full. It's a brave move from Butler. He knows what's coming. He knows that the spinner will be targeted with the slog sweep. Is Parkinson going to go it full or wide, or a combination? Does go towards that shorter boundary, and even a miss hit goes for 6. And that's the problem bowling from that end. Just a top edge and it goes for 6.
Well, the Originals had probably their tallest fielder out on the boundary there on the leg side, Tom Hartley, and he was interested for a while, but it's just managed to lob him.
Hey, Daddy!
Quicker out the front of the hand from Parkinson.
Sneaky!
Nowhere near the middle of the bat. That would have been caught out leg side, if it had even carried on the leg side, if he was bowling from the pavilion end.
Get it, Daddy!
Good comeback from Parkinson after the 6.
Brilliant boy! Oh,
Yeah, he's going to bowl very full there. 3 excellent deliveries. Can he finish the set? Yeah. Well, we make it 29 balls. The umpires make it 30. Just going to check that. Yep, it is 30 balls. 47 scored.
ग्राउंड की हर खबर पे रखो नजर वुल्फ 777 न्यूज हर जगह ग्राउंड है.
Well, that's right.
Let's 1xbet. Pump it up. Let's 1xbet. Catch your line. Let's 1xbet. Do it right. Be out. Enjoy the game tonight.
A square to the Rahul. How's the win? Aye, sir. Bring your skills, answer the questions, win big.
This game involves an element of financial risk and may be addictive. Please play responsibly and at your own risk.
Paul Walter into the attack. Coming left arm round the wicket, trying to tuck up Maxwell. Everyone out leg side. So it's going to be angling in. Good start, slower ball bouncer. Bowling it into the surface, taking pace off.
Yeah, bowling to his field as well. He can't afford to give any sort of width to Maxwell.
Yeah, but you know what Maxwell likes to do? He likes to turn around left-handed. He likes the switch hit. He's going to stay right-handed.
Nice service, that, Dre.
Great opportunity for Zach Crawley. He looked good the other day, as we often say about Zach Crawley. And he was unlucky, just caught up with one at the back of the bat. Great opportunity to find some form. Just go and express yourself, free yourself up. This is really good from Walter. Just changing the pace every single delivery.
I've seen him more with the bat this year, playing for Essex, got a decent amount of runs to them. Strike rate as well, but doing a good job with the ball, being disciplined with his line so far.
Just changes the field for the last delivery of the set. Fine leg comes up, and Andre Russell at mid-off goes to long off. Does go left-handed. Misses it. Tried to thrash it. And I reckon we have the end of the 5. It was whether he's going to bowl another 5 there. Butler was thinking about it. And then he's got his cap from the umpire. So that's set done, 49 scored.
Yeah, very good over. I guess it's the temptation, isn't it? Sometimes as a captain and a bowler, you might feel a bit greedy. You might think, yeah, I can go again. I can bowl another set of 5. And then before you know it, you're getting whacked out the park. So just trying to always stay one step ahead of the game.
Hartley now with his left arm spin into the attack. Drag leg side, nowhere near the middle of the bat. He was trying to hit it over extra cover. But Crawley comes back quickly for 2. He's safe. .50 comes up for the Spirit in 36 deliveries.
I would have been in trouble if it was a direct hit.
Yes, gone. Straight through him, the danger man Maxwell has gone, and Hartley into the wickets.
Maxwell trying to create an angle, this time to go up and over the offside. Tom Hartley just angling the ball in, trying to bowl as straight as he can. Gets the reward, just clips that leg stump. That is a massive wicket for the Manchester Originals, and they know it. Oh, that's the end of the very dangerous Glenn Maxwell. He goes for 21 off 15. London Spirit now 51, 37 balls.
ग्राउंड की हर खबर पे रखो नजर वुल्फ 777 न्यूज़ हर जगह ग्राउंड है
How's the win? Aye, sir. Bring your skills, answer the questions, win big.
This game involves an element of financial risk and may be addictive. Please play responsibly and at your own risk.
Let's 1xbet. Pump it up. Let's 1xbet. Catch your eye. That's one expect. Do it right. Be enjoy the game tonight.
Right-hand combination. The man that's taken over from him in the England colours, Josh Butler, will have to work out. It's going to be tricky out there now.
No! Saba! That's wide! Look at that.
Both the spinners have bowled straight. Parkinson full and straight. Bring those stumps and LBW into play. Might hide it outside off. Slog sweep 6. Morgan off the mark.
They're picking up where he left off from their first game. 47 off 29 in their opening match and continuing where he left off. That is such a good strike, using the angle and targeting that short boundary.
Yeah, it's going to be a nightmare for Butler with left-hand, right-hand combination. This will be at least 2. It does run away in that direction. I reckon they'll settle for 2. It's 59 for 2 after 40.
गली शहर ग्राउंड है, दीवार गुलाबी ग्राउंड है, यार नवाबी ग्राउंड है.
ग्राउंड की हर खबर पे रखो नजर. वुल्फ 777 न्यूज, हर जगह ग्राउंड है.
How's the win?
Hi, sir.
Bring your skills, answer the questions, win big.
This game involves an element of financial risk and may be addictive. Please play responsibly and at your own risk.
Let's one expect. Pump it up. Let's one expect. Catch your eye. Let's one expect. Do it right. Be enjoy the game tonight.
Beautiful evening, a stunning ground. Lord's an absolute picture. Change of ends for Andre Russell. Pass backward point. And Crawley will come back for 2. Yeah, the power meter showing just 60 for that Morgan 6. So it just shows in that direction. You don't need the power.
Get middle, please. Middle. Thank you.
It's interesting when you go around the country, look at the different dimensions of the grounds. We were at Cardiff yesterday, and very short straight, really wide square of the wicket, and it does have an effect probably on team selection, the way that they play the game. Already we're seeing the short boundary here play a role.
Full toss, gets away with it. Yeah, for all sides apart from London Spirit, home advantage was a big thing last season. Southern Brave won all their games at home. Trent Rockets all but one. And they'll use it. We saw Trent Rockets the other day prepare a dry pitch for their bowlers. So what London Spirit have got to do is make this their fortress here at Lord's. Win their games at Lord's. Quick, he's still quick, Russell. There's an appeal from Salt. Butler not interested. Right. 64 for 2 from 45.
And Morgan was just giving a little look as well to the umpire, just to ask, was that overhead height?
I think it probably was, actually. Just overhead height. That's why Morgan was just looking at the umpire.
Yeah, no ball if it goes overhead height from a bouncer, but not a free hit. Every other no ball is.
Makes it into a full toss and whacks it away leg side and whacks it all the way. That's a big hit from Morgan.
It's great to see as well. Owen Morgan, obviously he's retired from the international game, but to see him playing with such freedom, striking the ball as well as he is. Have a look at the power meter. What is that? 88. Highest one of the day.
Man, get him, Parky!
I wonder what shot you're playing now. Is it over the offside?
Yeah, no.
Oh, Jose! Sorry, Parky. Sorry. Just gotta get out of the way. Sorry.
Down the pitch again. Parkinson saw him coming this time. Morgan looks in good touch. 73 scored, 50 balls gone.
Cabin बंटी की दुकान ग्राउंड है आंटी का मकान
ग्राउंड की हर खबर पे रखो नजर वुल्फ 777 न्यूज हर जगह ग्राउंड है.
Well, that's right.
Yes! How's the win? Hi, sir! Bring your skills, answer the questions, win big.
This game involves an element of financial risk and may be addictive. Please play responsibly and at your own risk.
Let's one expect. Pump it up. Let's one expect. Catch your line. Let's one expect. Do it right. Be out. Enjoy the game tonight.
$50 balls gone, 50 remain. Oh, Morgan looks like he means business this evening. 17 runs from just 9 balls. Tristan Stubbs from the pavilion end. Morgan's gone through extra cover with a bit of curve on it, so Zach Crawley should be able to scamper back for 2.
Oh, that would have been nice.
Be quite a feature of this game from now on in, as it was from the start really, but that short boundary is going to really test the captains and the bowlers. Long offside for Morgan, who's left-handed, very short leg. Tries to tangle it and got in a bit of a tangle and nearly dragged it onto his stumps.
Tristan Stubbs, pretty good. I haven't seen him bowl before. Good flight, good curve. And he's trying to stay away from bowling too wide to the left-hander.
That's good, clever. Tucking Morgan up. He knows Morgan is iron leg side up the slope.
Not bad being a left-hander here. Got one short side and the other you're hitting with the wind. Leg spinner from one end, off with the other. Same for Zach Crawley.
Oh, go Stubbsy! Yeah, well done, Seb.
Well, that's excellent. Excellent bowling from Stubbs. That's the end of his set of 5.
77 for 2. And he's going to carry on. So Joss Butler has said, well, despite Owen Morgan having the leg side boundary, which is short, at the moment Stubbs has his measure, carry on. It's an interesting tactic. It's one of the interesting things about the difference between the 100 and other cricket. As and when will captains try and utilise a bowler bowling a full set of 10 overs, so 2 fires from one end? Some of the theories are that the first 5 balls, a batter can line them up and come up with a plan. Let's see how this one goes. Started well. What do you think of it, Sam? As a tactic?
I think it's really good. It allows the captain some freedom to have.
That's 6. His first of the innings. That gets the crowd going.
Very, very simple for Pollard. Just step and swing. He's got so much power, such good hand-eye coordination. Didn't even get all of it, but so short that side of the ground. He's going to keep going.
Yes, but especially that side. They've got to keep watching the ball, the crowd, because it'll come fast at them.
See how quick his hands are. Not a huge amount of movement in his crease. Just stands there, bats himself to clear the ropes. Up and underneath it.
It's a good strike. And a very good catch. Good work by the fielders in the deep. That accounts for Thompson.
Yeah, very good work out in the deep, and I think the throwback was more of a precaution than anything else, just to make sure that just in case he did topple over, he was able to release the ball. Just need to make sure that there was no part of his body in contact with the rope as he made contact with the ball. It's Hartley who was there for the release. They do this all the time in training now. Good work. That's the end of Jordan Thompson. Goes for just 2. Spirit now 120 off 84 balls.
गली शहर ग्राउंड है, दीवार गुलाबी ग्राउंड है, यार नवाबी ग्राउंड है.
ग्राउंड की हर खबर पे रखो नजर. वुल्फ 777 न्यूज, हर जगह ग्राउंड है.
Let's 1xbet. Pump it up. Let's 1xbet. Catch your line. Let's 1xbet. Do it right. Be out. Enjoy the game tonight.
Yes. How's the win? Hi, sir. Bring your skills, answer the questions, win big.
This game involves an element of financial risk and may be addictive. Please play responsibly and at your own risk.
So Manchester Originals getting a couple of wickets. That will put the brakes on the scoring. 16 balls remaining. Main aim would be to try and get past that 150 mark. Cut-off time 7:39. It's one of the best rules introduced. You don't finish in time, you might have to pay a price for it. But the extra fielder coming into the ring. So Joss Butler, he's controlled things well there. Some good bowling changes, especially Paul Walter. Getting him, making him bowl 10 on the trot.
Fielding team just having their tactical break, which they're allowed to take after the first 25 balls. Just 90 seconds just to regroup.
Yes, you can already see all ages there. A lot of youngsters, a lot of middle-aged people, a lot of elders. watching the proceedings. Great way to get new people to come and watch the game, learn about the game, look to try and emulate their stars. Nothing like seeing.
गली शहर ग्राउंड है, दीवार गुलाबी ग्राउंड है, यार नवाबी ग्राउंड है.
ग्राउंड की हर खबर पे रखो नजर. वुल्फ 777 न्यूज़, हर जगह ग्राउंड है.
Take it from 85 to 90. Bopara will be the man on strike.
Hugely experienced. Ravi Bopara spent a lot of his career at Essex, now at Sussex, captaining them in the Vitality Blast.
That's a good strike. Very good strike. Starts off with a boundary. First ball. In fact, second ball.
Yeah, very dismissive as well from Ravi Bopara again, just shuffling over onto the offside, just so he can get the ball nice and close to him. Really good contact.
Yes, he just checked the field. Mid-on was up, so he decided to just get across and hit it over the onside. Still up now. Oh, fine shot this. Excellent timing. And that ball raced away. Two boundaries on the bounce.
Now this is a high quality stroke from Ravi Bopara because he's had the awareness just to open the blade, work the angle, make sure he could beat that fielder in the ring point, so he could reach or get past him and also beat the boundary riders out on cover region and third.
Just seeing the field set now with the fielders disappearing towards the boundary square of the wicket on the offside, it suggests he's going to bowl fuller and wider. Bopara also anticipating that, deciding to come across the stumps. Mind games at the moment. The bowler trying to outthink the batsman trying to be one up on the bowler. A wide signal.
Let's have a look at the offside field, and it's quite an unorthodox one. You don't often see just one in the ring. You often have a point, but they've gone for a deep point, deep cover, deep mid-off.
Oh, direct hit needed.
Captain Butler, the opportunity, often see him with the gloves, but he's been patrolling in the inner ring, would have been gone a long, long way, Ravi Bopara.
Andre Russell up against Kieran Pollard. And that's the beauty about these the franchise cricket around the world. Let's see two teammates pitted against each other. Oh, he's got that on the fall and put it into the crowd. So 90 balls gone.
A low full toss, sometimes quite a hard delivery to put away. The pace that it's arrived and the strength, the timing of Pollard. Let's have a look, what was it on that power meter, 85. Not quite the best of the evening, but still very good. And Pollard, I think just asking, were there enough people in the ring on that delivery? You have to have 4 fielders in the ring. He's suggesting there might have been 3.
You mentioned not one of the biggest hits in the evening because it's not an easy ball to put away. A low full toss, but it's just the power that he has, Kieran Pollard, the bat speed, strength in the forearms and wrists. 10 balls.
Let's one expect. Pump it up. Let's one expect. Catch your line. Let's one expect. Do it right. We are enjoying the game tonight.
A square to the Rahul. How's the win? Hi, sir. Bring your skills, answer the questions, win big.
This game.
Bopara is caught in the deep. Sean Abbott taking the catch.
There's a good catch from Abbott, just running round, having to dive forward, always a tough one. Often see them just pop out on the landing. And Ravi Bopara looking to target that long side of the ground, not managing to get enough on it. Another one to go for the London Spirit. They might just be checking something. If it's a fair catch, it looks pretty standard.
Well, the umpires will have to take an account of this as well because of the cutout time. So it could be a strategy from batting sides as well to waste time in the last 3 or 4 lots of 5 so that they get that extra fielder in the ring for the real onslaught in the final 6 or 7 balls. Well, he's been given out now, so he will have to depart for 9. It's 136 for 9 to go.
A square to the Rahul. How's the win? Hi, sir. Bring your skills, answer the questions, win big.
This game involves an element of financial risk and may be addictive. Please play responsibly and at your own risk.
Let's one expect. Pump it up. Let's one expect. Catch your line. Let's one expect. Do it right. We are enjoying the game tonight.
Just having another look at the catch. I think they were checking just to make sure that Sean Abbott had control of the ball just as he lands there.
Now what they probably were looking at is when the wrist hit the ground first, did the ball hit the ground with the fingers pointing downwards? Was the wrist. That's in the air, just short. Come back for 2. It's important though that Pollard gets the strike here with 8 balls to go.
It's Matt Parkinson who was at short third, chose to dive forward. I don't think it dropped short.
So Liam Dawson is the new man out there. And that single will bring Pollard on strike.
Huh? I can smell you from over there. Smell that good.
So 9, Kieran Pollard. Just looking at that field. Manchester Originals would want him to target the longer boundary on the onside. 2 fielders, 3 fielders on the boundary. A wide signal.
Have a look at the power that Pollard generates. This was that low full toss that he just dispatched to the boundary for 6. 85 power generated.
That's in the air, in the gap as well. So he'll get the boundary. So the London Spirit's powering on now. 144 for 6. 6 balls to go. Such fast hands. We saw the power meter shot there. It was as if he had a table tennis racket in his hand and was playing the top spin smash. Looks like a little toothpick is in his hand. Pollard wants two, but will have to settle for the single. 95 balls have been bowled. It's 145 for 6.
I think they probably missed out on an opportunity to get Pollard back on strike here. That last delivery of that last set of 5, he didn't really time it, so he's just plinked it. There's no one in the ring. Pollard seemed happy to settle, but then he changed his mind and he thought, oh, hang on, we can come back for 2. And then it was just too late.
Yes, a little surprise there, because you would want to keep the strike. 5 balls to go. It could make the difference between a score of 150, 155, in between that and 160 plus. If Pollard gets a couple of hits in the middle. And he's back on strike now with 4 balls to go.
Mentioned about Chris Gale and Karen Pollard being the leading 6 hitters. 3rd on the list, Andre Russell is here today as well, so no doubt he'll have his part to play. Already seen him with the ball today.
And so similar when it comes to power, Andre Russ and Karen Pollard. Imagine the 2 together in the middle for the West Indies. Smashed! 6!
Oh, this is pretty much a baseball swing from Pollard. A flat bat down the ground. And Sean Abbott out on the boundary, but this time the ball was nowhere near him. Managed to get the elevation. Clears it with ease.
Yes, that hit takes the London Spirits past 150. Mentioned if this guy stays, another hit or 2 could get them past that 160 mark as well. So extremely important that he keeps the strike. It's a good delivery.
Yeah, brave delivery as well from Freddie Clarkson. 73 miles an hour, so pace off, looking to go full, bowl that Yorker length. That's where you just try and hit the feet of the batters so they can't get that elevation.
So just 2 balls remaining. Oh, he misses. Pollard was always running. So 6 from here will get them to 160. And it's Pollard on strike. So this should be a good contest. Joss Butler will be chasing. It was Owen Morgan who won the toss, decided to bat first. I wonder what him and Trevor Bayliss are discussing there. Is that enough? Would 6 more help? Surely would help. Final ball. And what a strike this is into the pavilion. As easy as. It's the big fellow Pollard who puts the 100th ball into the members.
Oh, the crowd are absolutely loving this. The build up to that last delivery. The crowd, they had the slow clap going. And Pollard realised, right, I'm going to have to deliver here under a huge amount of pressure from the crowd, and he's managed to do exactly that. Let's see, was this the highest of the day? No, 79, but enough.
What a finish. Massive 6, makes it look so easy. But a terrific strike there to finish things off. And the London Spirits, they'll be happy. 160 for 6 from 100. So the crowd really loving it. Zach Crawley played well early on for 41. Maxwell entertained for a bit, but it was a partnership between Morgan and Pollard that got things going for the London Spirit, and towards the end, Pollard finishing off in extremely aggressive fashion. 34 from just 11 deliveries.
And the Originals, they used a decent amount of bowlers today, 7. Freddie Clarkson and Abbott opened up a wicket each for them. But for me, the pick of the bowl is Paul Walter, 2 wickets, only going for 18 runs off his 20 deliveries.
So it's time to go down to Nas.
Paul well bowled, 20 balls, 2 for 18. You'd take that every time, wouldn't you?
Yeah, definitely. I think, especially with a short side and a left-hander on strike, obviously, yeah, take that every day.
And the challenges of bowling against Maxwell, Morgan and Pollard, how do you face up to those?
Yeah, I think, to be honest, it's just trying to bowl the ball and just hit the areas that you're looking to hit, and what we talked about in the warm-up. So try and take the man out of it as much as possible and just execute what you're trying to do.
Have you been injured or anything? Because you didn't bowl in the first game and you only bowled 1 over for Blast for Essex in the Blast.
Yeah, no, not been injured, just trying to regain